Hey Douglas, how you doing, man?
Hey man, I'm doing well. And yourself?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good, man. It's a busy day today, but getting all right because of Undock. Right? Do you know Undock?
Yeah, I've heard of OnDoc before.
Yeah, so I'm on Undock a lot, and actually my calendar with like it's crazy right now. So I have to
Mm-hmm.
figure out with my kids coming in and stuff like that, lunchtime, and
All
now
right.
this podcast.
Hey
So
man,
tell me,
it's
like,
all good.
what's your sports background?
Yeah, man. When I was a kid, I kind of wanted to. I had this habit of wanting to just play football and things of that nature. And then eventually, when I got into high school, I was in gym PE class, and we just did something. We just running back and forth during PE class. I don't know why they wanted us to do that. And eventually, I didn't know, the PE teacher was an actual track coach. And eventually, I just started running track, and I kind of went on from there. So I didn't play any basketball, football, or any other sports. I just strictly ran track, and that was it. So,
Did you in college too?
yeah, I did it my freshman year in college, and then I got hurt. I had my first kid, and that was just kind of it. So I just wanted to find a way to transition, and I kind of want to get back into it, like on a coaching level at some point eventually. One day maybe, coach like a high school, or during the summertime, they have like AAU track and stuff like that. So I just have a real deep passion
AAU.
for it, man.
That's the thing, like AAU track. Like I'm from Canada, so
Yeah.
sometimes like you guys, like you have so much stuff going on. There's a AAU track like thing right now.
Yeah, you can run track almost all year round. I mean, you have indoor track, outdoor track in the spring, and then you have summer track. So, just like you see the basketball players who may play,
Okay.
AAU, rec, collegiate, high school, you have the same thing for track as well. So,
So what's your thing in track? Let's say you're a track athlete. So what is it that you, Douglas, that you're like, this is my thing? Because track and field is like it's wide, like it's wide. So what is it that you do? Like, are you like a sprinter or like a long distance?
no, I say mid-distance sprinter. You can do 400 meters up to 800 meters. So, I think,
The tough stuff.
yeah, I mean, it's pretty tough, but I think those two races are very like it takes a lot of mental capacity to run like a 400 meters because you're running that full lap around. It's like
Yeah.
everything is kind of up here, and it's always everybody will tell you who's running the 400. When you get to that last 100, well, you just better be ready to give it everything you got. So
What's tougher? Is it the 400 or the 800? Like because 800 for me that's like a no no. Like I can't go like that long. That I'm a sprinter. So like 800 for me, it's like it's out there. Like I don't want to touch it. Is it like for you? Which one do you prefer? Like do is it like the like 800? Is it like too much of a grind or like
uh,
it's more calm for you?
I'd much rather do the 400. I think even my old track coach would tell you, she's like, yeah, I put him in 800, but she could tell that I didn't really like it at all. I would do it, but I'd much rather just run a 400.
And do
So,
you do like the hurdle stuff and everything or
nah, we
no?
tried it, but nah, I didn't ever get into hurdles or anything like that. So,
No like decathlon stuff too, like throwing stuff.
mm-mm, nope, no decathlon, no anything like that. Nope. I mean, I wish. I think in some areas, some places they allow things like javelin. I wouldn't have minded just try that out in the meet or
Yeah.
something like that, just to get out there and just throw a stick. But you know, we didn't have that available. So
Oh, that was not like a. That, I thought that was like when you do track and field. I thought that was like everything was like in that like, in school. So when you say track and field, like in high school, you there's only like a couple of like disciplines. It's not like the whole like throwing out the disc and throwing the disc stuff. Is not that's not that's like that's
yeah,
not included.
they don't have everything. They
Okay.
don't have everything at high school level or anything like that. So
Okay, because we're not organized in Canada. We're not really that organized with the track and field. It's not like a, it's kind of an off season thing, like where, like we're not really doing it. So like it's not like a serious thing. It's mostly just off season for basketball player or football player. That's it. So
yeah.
we don't really do it like that seriously. So, but I know like they've been like throwing stuff and everything. So it's just different.
I mean,
Let me
on
ask
the
you this.
flip side of it, outside of sports, you guys are doing like very great in music right now, though. Like, you guys are
In
doing very
music?
well in music. Oh yeah.
Who? Drake?
In Canada, just in general, that whole era of music, you have like a lot of people coming out of Canada, I believe.
Yeah,
So,
might be. I think Drake has the most fame, but I think it's the Weeknd too. And
hmm
Justin Bieber's Canadian too, so we got a lot of. You're right. We got a lot of people actually that do amazing stuff right now. So
yeah.
what is your like when you think about like sports, like is you're one of the first, actually the second track athlete that we have in the podcast. So what is your finest like fondest like memory, like your, hey Lizzie, how you doing?
Hey, how are y'all?
Hey, how you doing, Lizzie? I'm
All
doing
good.
well. I'm doing well.
We have a track athlete over here in Douglas. I was just about to ask him, what is his purest sports moment in track? Is there like a moment that when you were like growing up, like as a teenager, like kid, like you just remember, this is like how I feel about sport. Like, every time I remember like sport, like and this is like the thing that I remember as an athlete, like growing up. Is there one thing that you can share with us today?
I don't really have like, I guess, a purest sports moment. I think I just know growing up, me and my family, like me and my cousins, I used to go to my grandmother's house, stay there all the time, and we have my uncle's house, and then my grandmother's house is just down the street. But for whatever reason, every single time if we decide to leave one house to go over here, just because it was that close, like soon as we hit that door, we're always like racing to see who's gonna be the first one, to the next house beside us. So, and then eventually, like I said, I wanted to get into football, but I ended up getting into just running track, and that was kind of
Why
it
no
from there.
football?
Why no football?
Yeah.
Uh, I mean, I don't know. I think just something about running. I don't know. I really had like a very deep passion for just running in general. I don't know. If I played football, I would much rather just play quarterback. That's the position I would think I'd be best at. But yeah,
So, what's the longest you've ever run
the
at one
longest.
time? Yeah, at one time.
I mean, I've ran cross country before as well.
But how
So
long?
I've ran. I mean, man, we have 5K, but if you consider sometimes if you're in practice, you might be running at 8K, and you might go
Yeah,
out there and run an hour straight, hour and a half. So it just kind of depends. I mean, I literally just a couple of days ago, I ran about 6 miles. So
it's
What do
so
you think about?
crazy.
I said, what do
Oh,
you think about
sorry.
the Ironman stuff? Are you like, are you got a kind of guy who's gonna do like a marathon sometime, or
I was
you
about to
just like,
ask that.
I mean, honestly, I definitely thought about that. I would just had to kind of mentally get myself training the right way, appropriately, just kind of get used to running a lot of miles and stuff like that again. That's all. But I definitely wouldn't mind running a marathon. I think that'd be a pretty cool experience. I do want to. So at some point, once they kind of lift everything back up, then I'll try to prepare for one and see.
Lizzie, are you gonna like challenge him on a marathon?
Yeah,
Because I know I'm not.
yeah. I'll challenge you. I know a guy that did. One of my friends right now, he's raising money. Raising money for cancer, and what he's doing is every hour on the hour. Today, he's running a mile. Um,
hmm
we should do it. I'll challenge
I
you
think
to it.
that's pretty. Yeah, I mean, I don't mind. I even know a gentleman. I think there's a couple people out there I saw on Twitter. I think you might see them as well, Dominique. They're doing like the 4x4 or something. So they're doing like 4 hours off, 4 miles. It's like something crazy.
Yeah,
But
I know a bunch of people that do that. And
hmm
then like the 100 mile race. You've heard about that, right?
I definitely haven't heard about that.
Yeah. So there are
A
people that
hundred
do,
miles.
yes, 100 mile races. Yeah.
See,
Seriously.
No, that's too much for me.
Crazy.
After
Look up
like
Jesse
after like
Itzler.
200 after 200 meters, like I'm done. But let me ask you this,
oh
like
man.
let me ask you this, like for like as a Canadian and as a, how come you guys like you say you run like 400 meters and then 800 meters, but then after that you say I'm running like 6 miles. Why don't you keep it like in the meters like standpoint like don't you have like I don't understand why you don't do like the kilometers when you talk about running, because that's what you do. Like that's what we do. Like you say like meters. Like so, did you say like the 100 like 100 meters like a sprint, or you just like
Oh, I get what you're
invent like
saying.
like 105 yards? What is it like?
Uh, I mean, I could. That's not. I couldn't really like honestly answer that question for you. I get what you're kind of asking, but
At what point do you start? You stop doing the meters like in the states?
Oh, I think it's after like
uh,
the
I mean,
400,
you have the
right?
eight. Yeah, you have the 18. You have the 800. Um, you have the 1500, and then you up there from you start the mile.
Do
After that
people
is the
say
miles.
1500?
Well, 3200. You have the 3200 as well. 3200-meter relay, and then you go on to the mile, and so on from there.
Okay, and that's just normal for you guys?
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah.
Because that doesn't make any sense for me. Like hearing you like talking about meters and then after that miles. But that's just me. Like I'm Canadian, so. So what is like let's go back to your moment in sports and stuff like that. Like, do you have like we always do like some like two things like my own moment like so in your and the like as a fan, like, is there like a thing like as a fan that you look at sport and it could be like any sport at all like it doesn't matter. Like, what is your moment that you take back in time? It's just I always say, hey, like this is like pretty much the coolest moment I ever saw like in the sports history for me like because I know like I've been there's a lot of stuff that happened like in my life like watching sport, but like let's say I could like relive like some of the Michael Jordan back in the days like because I'm old enough to be like growing up with Michael, and I just remember that last shot against Utah when he just shoved the guy up, and I was like there like when he like on my TV screen when I saw that. So that was kind of a pure wow, this is basketball for me. Is there like a moment in the history of sport that really like close to your heart, and you say this is sports for me?
I think every sport has its own like specific thing that it kind of brought to me personally. I mean, I grew up kind of like on that Kobe Bryant era, so
Okay.
watching what he was able to do with him and Shaq and the Allen Iverson and those guys, I think that was a very good turning point. But also with football as well, I was able to catch people like I was a Marshall Faulk fan. I like Ladainian Tomlinson, those guys, Brett Favre and stuff like that as well. So watching those guys play, Peyton Manning, and then when you see Tom Brady come into the league and seeing what he's able to do right now, that's how I feel about football. And then track. I mean, when you're able to watch people breaking like records anytime, I think that's very like special to see. You know, I mean, because you kind of never know what you're really gonna get. When people who
Right.
are really running, they're just going out there and hoping that they run their fastest time and run their best race. And we have a guy who's from right here in Virginia, Grant Holloway. He just broke the world record for the hurdles. But then you have somebody like David Rudisha who runs the 800 meters. He has the fastest 800 meter world record right now. And it's like, well, man, he might be the first man to ever actually go under a minute and 40 seconds in the 800 meters. And somebody like me, it's like, well, I probably wouldn't get nowhere near that. So.
What's the best thing for you? Is it like when you were running back in the days? Is it have your personal best time or winning a race? Like what is like the best like? Because I'm not a track athlete, so what is it for you? Like is it like beating your own time? Is it that something that's really great, or just like finishing first?
Man, I just enjoyed the I guess I don't know if adrenaline is like the right word, but just like being in the middle of those moments and running in a race, whether you're gonna come in first, second, or anything like that. I think just being able to enjoy how fun it is. Like I had a chance to actually run in pin relays, if you guys are familiar with pin relays, and that's probably like one of the biggest races that we kind of have here in America. And when you're running with
What's that?
different people. Pin relays. It's a big track event that they kind of have every year in Pennsylvania. So and you're running with schools like most of the time, a lot of American schools, a lot of top high schools, top colleges, and then obviously Jamaican schools and stuff like that. So and a couple of times they let Army, Navy, different military, you know, come in there as well as running.
NCAA stuff, or is it based like?
No.
Stuff? Okay.
No, so you'll see youth ages run up to high school, middle school, college, and pro. So, but I mean that stadium is like always like completely packed, man. So it's always like loud. You can't hear yourself or anything. So that's always exciting.
Who was like growing up? Did you have like a guy that you like follow a lot? I know like what was the name of that guy that run a lot of the 400 and the 200 American with the golden shoes? What's his name?
Oh, was you talking about LaShawn Merritt?
No, I'm older than that. Like he was. Johnson.
Yes, him. Is it Michael Johnson?
That's the guy I grew up to. Like he was like straight, like running straight and stuff like that. That's the guy I grew up with. So him and like at some point they had that challenge. Him and Donovan Bailey actually, the Canadian like superstar 100-meter, and they actually did a 150. Have you ever saw that?
Yeah, I have. I went back and watched videos and stuff like that. Like I said, before I got to high school, anything track, I couldn't have told you anything about it. So, and once I got into high school, that's why I was introduced to people like, Usain and LaShawn Merritt and those guys. So.
That's cool. Liz, did you ever run track?
Yeah, I was actually about to bring that up. In middle school and elementary, middle, and high school. Well, actually, no. I quit in high school to play softball, but full time. But so in middle school and elementary school, I ran track. I ran the 4x2, the 4x1, and the 100, the 200. And then one time, I will never forget this. I was so angry. They put me on the 400. The 400 is hard. I was not a endurance. Maybe for you, like. That isn't really technically endurance, but that was
it's a long sprint.
It's a long sprint. You're sprinting the whole time.
Yeah.
And I remember they were like, Lizzie, like, we're gonna need you to sub in. We have no one to do the 400. This is like at a meet, right? And I'm like, oh my God, we're not doing this. Like, I can't. I'm not. I'm like in the 5th grade. Like, I hate you all. I hate you all. And I literally, the gun goes, we shoot off in the middle of it. Like, I swear, probably 250. After 250, I was like, I can't do this. And I started walking. And
that sounds about right. That's when they get to that breaking point.
What? Lizzie, what? And I'm like, screw it. I'm not doing this. I can't do it. I mean, the 400 is a battle. Let me tell you. It's a mental battle.
That's what I told Dominique, I'm thinking, before you got on. I said, when you get around to that last 100 and you realize it's like, I got to go way down there. That's it.
Oh, God. And then I also did shot put and discus. I was pretty good at discus. Not as much shot put, but it's because I played softball. The ball. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And, I did long jump as well. But I did love the 4x1 and the 4x2, and the 100, the 200 were good, but it was so fun. Me and my best friends, we all ran together, and so it was really fun. But yeah, it's interesting though, because I would have never categorized myself as fast, and then I was Googling myself the other day randomly, and it came up like stats. And I wasn't fast, but I was like, oh, that's not that slow. That's not as slow as I thought I was in like the 5th grade. It was interesting.
Yeah. You even see people like when you say the 400 meter is a long sprint. I mean, I've ran an 800 in the past. And I would have people tell me, they said the 800 meters is a sprint. I said, man, And then when you start to consider, you have professionals who are out there running the 800 meter. They're coming around that first 400 the same speed that a professional 400 runner may run their first.
I think
So
I think what they consider actually is it like I think the 800 is the last one that if you're on the metabolic way, you're not using your long your breathing that much because you don't have the time to do the aerobic stuff. So it's mostly just anaerobic. So you just go. That's why they mean like it's the last sprint. But this also why when you finish a 800, you like just I want to die. Like
you couldn't pay me $1 million to run the 800 right now. Like,
that's crazy.
I would think I'd have to mentally prepare myself for weeks. Because here's the thing for me is like I can run a marathon. Like that is a marathon for me is it's not easier, but you're mentally prepared because okay, it's not a sprint, right?
Yeah.
Like the 800
you find your
it's like,
pace.
exactly. The 800's like by the time you find your pace, it's over. Bye, you lost. Okay, I'm done. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'm like, there they go past me.
All right.
I wish there was. That was one thing I wish. Like when I was like growing up, like track over here in Canada is not like really.
It's
well,
not a
like,
thing.
built, so we don't have really like track team in high school and stuff like that. So like you could do like some fall track and stuff like that, but never like do like serious like train. I wish I would have that like back in the days, like growing up. Has a kind of a sidekick sport to basketball. I would have loved
No,
that. So
no, but
Douglas, I'm guessing you. Yeah, go ahead, Desi.
I was gonna say, but then you might not have created pure instinct if there was track. So
No, maybe not. Like I think like Pure Instinct is actually a mix up of everything that I did.
it is.
Growing up. So yeah, it's. I'm really thinking that I would have probably created anyway. So yeah, Douglas, I'm wondering you seen like the NFT craze or like the NBA Top Shot stuff like that. You've seen that around like on your Twitter feed. I'm guessing.
Oh yeah, all the time, man. I mean, me and Mike, we're always talking about NBA Top Shot and stuff. Like if Mike was here, he'd tell you he's always on, waiting around till they drop a new package and stuff. So we're even trying to get into building stuff ourselves as well. So yeah, I'm definitely involved in it.
I'm not. I'm not trying to buy. I'm not trying to buy anything like because I don't like to buy those collective. But is there like one moment that if you had like just like, let's say, 10 cameras on you? Okay, let's start with the on you stuff. All right. Is there a moment in life you say, I wish I had that like 10 camera angle like on me for that race or for that moment like in my life in a sporting event? Because I know like there's one or two shots in my basketball career actually I was like, oh, I wish I could have that like forever, like just forever. And it doesn't have to be like the perfect moment too. Like it can be just like a moment that you're gonna keep in your wallet and say, I'll remember when I fell down or like anything. Is there a moment that you say, I wish I had like 10 cameras around me?
Man, I mean, I don't know if I can really name a specific moment or anything like that. I've had all kinds of moments. I can honestly say I've had a moment where I've walked off the track because
wow.
I think I wasn't.
What do you mean? What do you mean you
I
walked off the
just
track?
like just being at a younger age, and sometimes you kind of feel like you're not, mentally there. I was in the race, and next day, I just for whatever reason, I felt like I was gonna lose, and got tired. Just didn't feel like myself in the middle of it because, like I said, a lot of these races are a very mental thing, and me personally, I just, ended up just didn't finish the race. I just walked off. So being able to kind of reflect on something like that to never quit on myself, I think that's probably something I would put, cameras around. It's like that's who you were before. It's gonna be that person again, and with anything that you do in life.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. Is there a moment that you like? Oh yeah, in a kind of in a professional setting, just like NBA Top Shot, or or any sport again, like because let's go. I know you seem to be a football fan, so let's go football. Is there a moment in football history that you like? I wish I had this exact NFL top shot moment that I could have and for free right now, like you don't have to pay for
Yeah,
it.
I'm a Philadelphia Eagles fan, so I mean, you imagine how we felt when
Boo.
when we actually won the Super Bowl. That moment right there, I think that's exactly what I kind of want. So,
Yeah. So how do you feel about all that like QB controversy? Like because you guys have a
mm,
QB, then you have Nick Foles winning the Super Bowl, and then both of the QB are out. What's up with the Phillies? With Philly?
I mean, just like most teams, you just want to try to figure out. I think he cut off.
Oh,
Did he?
where'd he go?
I think he disappeared there. I don't know.
What were you saying about the QB controversy?
Yeah. So I mean, as far as quarterback goes, I actually like Jalen Hurts.
I
I
love him.
think.
I went to Alabama. I'm a huge
Oh
Jalen
yeah,
Hurts
so
fan.
I think he's gonna do a great job, and
Me
I think,
too.
like I said, with most teams, it's just kind of like that thing where it's like it's trial and error, trying to figure out who the best pieces are that we can kind of put together to give ourselves a shot. So
Right.
you know, I just continue to put my trust in them that they're gonna continue to make the best
Yeah.
moves. Then hopefully we can get back to a championship again. So,
Right. Right. And
but you know, I think we just signed. I can't remember exactly who we just signed. We just signed on a second string quarterback as well. But like I said, I trust in Jalen Hurts a lot. So
I mean, man, I love Jalen Hurts. I hate the
yeah.
Eagles because I'm a Cowboys fan, but I
Man, I
do
feel
love.
sorry.
I know. But I really do. I love Jalen Hurts,
Hmm.
and I think that, like, it's just good to see him. I mean, he has good stats, right? I think
Hmm.
that with experience, he'll be able to really pull it out. And I mean, you're doing better than Dallas, so
Yeah. We'll definitely see. I mean, I'm excited to see what happens this season. So
me too. I am. You're back.
Yeah, I'm back. Do you follow all Philly sport? Is that you follow the Sixers too and stuff like that?
no, I'm not a Sixers fan. I'm a Bulls fan. So.
Oh,
How can you be like a Philly fan and a Bull fan? Like I'm
yeah.
confused. Like what is wrong with you?
And just kind of a thing where I, grew up, whatever, depends on what I was watching. So,
Okay.
I mean, even when I was younger, the only thing that I kind of remember when I seen the Bulls play Michael Jordan is, I used to live with my dad, so I had Nintendo 64. I'm always playing with the Bulls or the Lakers. Those are like the only two teams I'm always playing games with. But then also being able to watch Michael Jordan play when I was a lot younger. So, but like I said, I was probably, I don't know, 4, very young. So,
All right. Cool. So
yeah.
and where did you grow up? Like to Philly and did you grow up in the Pittsburgh area or?
No, I grew up in Virginia. My mother, she's actually from Philadelphia. Majority of her family's, well, all of her family's from Philadelphia. So, I don't know.
Okay, but I'm guessing Virginia people they don't do they affiliate with a team in football or basketball because there's no
Yeah, Washington. Yeah,
Washington.
Washington.
Okay.
Yeah. Now I don't hear the Washington football team, but I don't usually hear many people saying the Washington Wizards. Some, but not many. A lot of times I still hear Lakers. I hear Knicks, stuff like that.
Okay.
So
Yeah, I get you. So
yeah.
we'll see how the Jalen Hurts is actually doing this year. Hopefully he'll be fine.
Yeah, Lizzie says she went to Alabama, so she believes in Jalen Hurts. I believe
Yeah.
in Jalen Hurts. I think he's gonna do well. Like I said, he just put a good little core receivers, alongside him, and he'll do well.
Yeah, yeah. He was showing pretty good flash last year when I saw the games. I was kind of pretty impressed with his demeanor over there. But that second year sometimes it's kind of tough when people have tapes on you and stuff like that. So we'll see about that, because the first year is always not easier, but I think people don't have they don't know what to study actually. So but now they actually have a new coach and stuff like that. So it's a brand new team actually. So we'll see about that.
Yeah. But hey, I mean, even when people say, yeah, Bulls, I actually think the Bulls, I mean, we have a pretty young team now, so I think we have some time to still grow and have some potential to get to the playoffs and just kind of figure out what we can kind of progress from there.
Okay.
Now, as far as being me personally, like a Brooklyn Nets and seeing all the trades and stuff like that they've been doing, well, I don't know about that, but, I think at least getting to the playoffs is a good step for us.
Yeah, Brooklyn's gonna be a tough out, but for some reason, I think if Embiid is back on his feet this year, I still get a little bit I think the Sixers are gonna be really good. I saw them play.
I still wouldn't sleep on the Celtics. That's what I always tell people from the East. I wouldn't. I don't really ever like sleeping on the Celtics, man.
Yeah,
So,
you can't quote me on that. I don't think the Celtics are getting out of the first round this year. But you can't quote me on that.
Man.
So hey, Douglas, Lizzie, it was really nice. I had really nice having you today. All right.
Absolutely.
Thanks again. Good luck with Waffle TV. I know you guys are trying to crush it right now. So I'm hoping I'm rooting for you guys.
Man, I appreciate that, man, and we thank you.
Thanks, Doug.